2022.
Normally, this is when I am getting home, but now that I'm a dad, I guess this is when I'm starting my day. I'm super excited about this morning. This will be the first time I've ever gone to see a flower flash in the making.
Awake all night, I need you awake all night, I need you awake.
In New York City, a local florist called Louis Miller has become famous for creating these surprise, site-specific explosions of some of the most beautiful flowers. You never know when they're gonna happen. You never know where they're gonna be. It took me a long time to figure out who was making these floral displays and how I can get in on the action.
Do you like how I'm just watching and drinking coffee and not helping? Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
It's funny you say that because for me, what I don't like about sending flowers is that they die, that they're not permanent.
It keeps me in business.
That's a valid point.
Flowers are a short-term relationship. That's what's so nice about it.
What does your therapist say about your obsession with short-term relationships? I'm kidding. That's a whole other video.
Okay, so let's be serious. It's a very serious business.
It's a very serious business. Obviously, it's not 5 o'clock in the morning. We've gone back in time a little bit to talk about exactly what is a flower flash and what we can expect to see in Rockefeller Center. I am at the Plaza Hotel with the man himself, the flower bandit, the Banksy of floral displays. It's Louis. So how does someone get in the flower business?
They have to be slightly crazy. I've always loved flowers and plants. I had a summer job when I was 18 at a private golf course, and I was working out in the flower beds, and I became friends with this rich old lady, and she was in her 70s, so it was that perfect, dichotomy of young gay boy and rich old lady.
I've seen that movie.
Spirit Animal.
I've seen that movie. Yes.
You've lived that movie. We've all lived that movie.
Yeah.
So she was my champion, and then I went to school for landscape and horticulture and landscape design, and that was great, but the nature of that business is too slow for my energy and my attention span. So flowers are really great because these parties happen, they happen fast, they're all over at midnight, then it's on to the next.
Right. For someone who's never seen a flower flash, how would you describe what we're talking about?
Flower flash is basically a pop-up floral installation that's larger than life. The first one was in 2016, and it was something I'd wanted to do for 4 or 5 years because my job is doing this kind of stuff. Inside, hotels or tents in the Hamptons, and it's for a rarefied audience, and not everybody gets to enjoy flowers. So I thought, is there a way to bring flowers out to a larger audience, my fellow New Yorkers, but also to kind of push my creativity further? I mean, my day job is a lot of site visits and client meetings. The further I got into the business, the less I was actually handling flowers. With the flower flash, I'm actually doing it, and it's very fast, and it's done by the handful, and in the middle of the night, and it's a little bit of a dopamine rush. So at the end of the day, it's they're fun.
So the takeaway is that you do flower flashes instead of drugs.
Flowers are the new Coke.
Yeah, there you go. So in the past 6 years, what's been the most difficult one to execute?
The most difficult one was probably the one we did at Rockefeller Center, which was Atlas. It was this huge big garland, and it required 2 cherry pickers and 3 hours and spotlights, and it was fun. But what I love about a flash is the quickness of it and the sort of spontaneity. It was a great experience, but it didn't have the sort of the guttural nature that a trash bin flash does. You've got to have the stinky and the pretty together.
Got it. The stinky and the pretty. How do you choose where they go? And can you do one outside of my apartment?
Well, I'll tell you the stipulation. It has to feel very New York. You need to look at it and immediately know it's New York. Whether that's 6th Avenue in the background and you see the Chrysler Building. It can't have a Whole Foods sign behind it. We look at location, time of year, the general mood. A lot of it's really based on just mood.
This is your therapy.
Look, this is how you're expressing.
No, totally. The spirit of the flash has to be completely authentic. Otherwise, it's just another product. They are for the people. They need to be a gift to the city.
So I'm super excited that you are allowing me to crash your flash.
That's cute.
On Valentine's Day.
We have a very large piece of heavy equipment for this flash, which will have been pre-positioned.
Who do you work with to position the dump truck?
Irini. She's gonna sit there and fire it up.
Just so everyone knows, Irini is my friend who I worked together with at Vogue, who now works with Louis.
And she positions dump trucks.
She scouts, she dump trucks.
And backhoes.
She's a backhoe.
She's our backhoe.
She's also right here. Irini just quit, everybody.
Do you need a job?
I need a backhoe. I'm gonna hire Irini.
Front loader or backhoe. I know all the terminology now for these trucks.
This is kind of a tradition that we've had with 30 Rock. This is our third installation for Valentine's Day. Louis always envisioned doing something with a giant front loader that was spilling and cascading out with flowers. In true, very LMD signature style, we're not doing roses for Valentine's Day. We're kind of flipping it on its head, and we're doing these beautiful fresh daisies, which are graphic and white and bold. They kind of hint to like the optimism of spring coming, spilling out of the front hoe. There's a back hoe. They're gonna be bursting out of there,
cascading down into a big heap. And then at the top of the rock, we're gonna take a lot of these flowers and recreate one of our iconic emoji style flower flash hearts.
It will be right in front of the most gorgeous view of the Empire State Building, and people will go with their sweethearts or their moms or their kids and take a picture. And it's just like a really nice way to send a Valentine to someone that you love.
So walk me through exactly what's gonna happen. What is your process?
So we get there.
Really
and
early.
Very early. It's gonna be 23 degrees.
Oh, charming. I'm so glad I
I
agreed to
know,
do
no,
this.
it's last year was 23 degrees too, and every flower froze. I think the biggest thing is if somebody oversleeps.
Right.
Like the driver.
Right.
And then once we get there and the truck is unloaded, it's just like, do it.
We're here in the heart of Rockefeller Center. It is 18 degrees. It is 5:30 in the morning. The flowers are currently being unloaded from the refrigerated transport truck. I have on a winter jacket, puffer liner, cashmere Henley, denim shirt, 2 pairs of jeans, running tights, and I'm still freezing. Oh yeah, did I mention that it's Valentine's Day? Louis and his team have installed a dump truck in the heart of Rockefeller Center, which will become an iconic floral extravaganza. Hi, Louis.
Hi, Derek.
Did you ever think this would be what you were doing one day?
No, 47 years old, stuffing daisies into an excavator at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is success. I know I've made it.
I haven't had Botox yet, but my face is so frozen. Does this look like I have Botox? I'm so happy. I'm so sad. Actually, we've been here for about 20-25 minutes, and Louis and his team of 8 other floral experts have been quickly, strategically placing the daisies.
Will you be my Valentine?
Oh yeah, because Nick is out of town. Irini and I have known each other for nearly 2 decades.
Yeah.
When I was an intern at Vogue, Irini was the fashion writer there.
They're giving you tons of sage advice.
Yeah, she also gave me cigarettes, accidentally once made me eat dog treats. Really good input. The good news is we came back, we've grown, we've left Vogue to become literally New York Street vandals.
But I've never been arrested, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe today's the day. Have you seen spectators get engaged, fall in love, make
Actually,
love
yes.
connections? Do you
Oh
think
my
anyone will
God.
get engaged today?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, marriage is hard. No, yeah. Right in front of City Hall, 2 people got married in front of our flagpole.
Have you ever cried? Have you ever cried?
Oh, I'm Greek. I cry like 3 times a day.
Looking at the sweat.
Is this the last bucket?
Yeah, this is the last bucket. 2,000 stems later.
So we just finished the flower flash outside Rockefeller Center, and Louis prepared a very special surprise for the observation deck. Hi, holding up, Louis.
I just got a big whip.
Look, she has ice on her coat. It was water. It was water from the flowers, but it's so cold.
That's how we're doing
Ice. Participating in an archaic bureaucratic system of handwritten ID passes.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Smells nice.
It's very calm out here. It's so weird.
I've never been here before. Is there another observation deck that's much bigger?
No.
Like what's up there?
What floor are we going to?
70. Oh, shit.
Wow.
So this is a little scarier.
It's now a little after 7 a.m. and we are on the top of Rockefeller Center. and installing a giant heart for the citizens of New York City.
And how long will it stay there?
Ideally, a couple of hours, sometimes 20 or 30 minutes. The biggest reason why they don't last is that people take them. So once we post, the general public comes, and then once one person starts to take a flower.
And you like people to take them, I
Yeah,
presume.
that's the point. I put them out there, take a picture. We'll be back in a few hours to clean up the mess, but this is my gift to you, New York.
The whole vibe and the whole point of a flower flash is just flowers, New York, and love, like essentially. And then they get to take the flowers.
Like to be able to take this and upcycle them and reuse them for a flower flash for a larger audience is really the goal of a flower flash.
It feels like something that belongs in New York too, something unexpected, a mix of grimy and glamorous.
They are New York. They were created to honor New York with the spirit of New York. You know, they're not gonna last forever. Someday they'll go the way of the subway token.
Got it.
So hopefully they'll always be in the history of New York.
It's a constant reminder for New Yorkers to
Stop and
smell the roses.
Oh.
And here we have it. Lewis's next fantastical creation, a giant heart that says, I love New York. There's more than 300 roses, a bunch of other flowers whose names I forget because it's so freaking cold. But look, all of New York. I love you.
10,000 daisies in a dump truck.
A dump truck is dump trucks in phone booths, in dump other places. But we have a special little pretty self-explanatory. Hold on, my lips are frozen. The dump truck full of daisies. I've got a Valentine. Maybe this isn't gonna be so bad. Was that good?
Yeah, no, that's good.